So if you haven't been on Netflix and seen the latest season of Last Chance U, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to go check that out. I'm going to talk to you about my initial reaction after binge watching it on Friday night, the opening day, if you will, of Last Chance U season 4, season 2 in Independence. I'll talk about that one next. So season 4 of Last Chance U, the second season in Independence, Kansas, it dropped on Friday, July 19th. And I tell you what, it was outstanding. I really enjoyed it. Watched it start to finish, binge watched it starting early on Friday, and took a couple of breaks. Every couple episodes, I took a break or so to kind of recharge a little bit and come back with a fresh perspective. It was actually kind of hard to step away from it at times because it was so good. It was riveting, really grabbed me right off the bat. The storytelling was superb in this Last Chance U. The directing was outstanding. And of course, part of Last Chance U, you have to be blessed with a good story. You have to be blessed with good personalities. And I think that's one of the things that got the series off to a great start. The first season at East Mississippi Community College, you had really great personalities. You had great stories. You had just tremendous things that you just couldn't script that happened to make that first season at EMCC so good. And then you think of this fourth season at Independence, and it really reminded me a lot of the first season with EMCC and what happened with the big brawl at the end of the first season with EMCC that arguably cost them 2 national championships. You think about that, and then you think about what happened in season 4 of the series, and then you talk about season 2 at Independence in Kansas, and it really it mirrored the first season at EMCC so much it was almost scary at times. But they did a great job of storytelling, the directors, and really setting the table for what was going to happen. And the foreshadowing was just tremendous. And I love the way that they got the community involved. And they did it really early on, talking to some of the local businesses, some of the local people local people in town, in the community. And I thought really bringing that together, and they had the big Halloween community event that also brought the community in as well. And it really was kind of a different approach, I think, than maybe what we've seen in some of the previous seasons of Last Chance U. And as the series or as the season progressed, you kind of got a feeling for why they did that, because they were really setting the stage for what was going to happen with Coach Brown at the end. And it really just was great storytelling. And the season, everything can't be positive all the time. And some people will look at it and say, it wasn't fun because the team didn't do very well, and they didn't do very well. They struggled, and it really, I think, poisoned some people against the season 4, season 2 in in Kansas. But to me, that was part of what made it good. The fact that there were these challenges. And so I think what made it good this second season in Kansas was that they went through that adversity, the struggles, and you got a chance to see the psychology of what it's like within a team. So you think about it, in the beginning of the show, of this season, they're talking national championship. They're talking one of the greatest teams ever. They're talking about having the best talent in the country. They're talking about having the best team in the country. Their expectations could not be higher. And you see the delicate balance within a team in terms of confidence. They had national championship confidence. They had conference championship confidence. And then you get a loss, and all of a sudden it starts to chisel away at that confidence. Then you get a second loss, and then the confidence really just crumbles. And then it becomes just this bad slide that the team was on, and they just could not get off that slide. And as things got worse and worse, they started pointing fingers at each other, and people were getting kicked off the team. People were threatening to be kicked off the team. You had coaches that were threatening to be fired. They were threatened that they were going to be fired. Coaches that were fired, coaches that maybe saw the writing on the wall and decided to get out and quit because they knew where things were going, where they thought things were going, and they had to maybe look out for themselves or whatever motives that they had, and it just really started to crumble. But they really foreshadowed it very well throughout the season, and you could kind of see where they were setting the groundwork, where they were setting the foundation for what ended up happening toward the end. And so hats off to the directors of Last Chance U season 4, season 2 in Kansas. It was just really a very well done, very well edited. The storytelling, again, outstanding, and they were blessed with a good story. I like the way that they introduced the trainer into the mix. I thought the trainer was a really important factor, and I think the trainer was essential because of some of the issues that they had, some of the I'll just say the injury issues that they had to deal with, some significant injury issues that they had to deal with, and then also they had a couple faculty members at Independence that played key roles in the story as well. But it was really good the way all the people that were featured prominently in this second season at Independence. I thought it was just so well done, and they did a really good job. The athletic director played a little bigger role in this than maybe we've seen the athletic director play in some of the other seasons of Last Chance U. And it was just really, really well done. And, it's a tough call to say which one is my favorite season of Last Chance U, and I think I'll end up talking about that in another video, but this one's up there, and I've been bouncing back and forth on that one, and I'll talk about that one in another video. But if you have not seen Last Chance U season 4 overall, season 2 at Independence, I highly recommend you see it. It's tremendous, and what happens at the end is something that's there's a build-up that you just haven't seen in really probably any of the other seasons to this extent, and it's going to be well worth your time to check it out. If you're any kind of a college football fan and you're gearing up here for the college football season, which will be starting up here in a few weeks with training camps and the student athletes from colleges getting back on campuses, this is something that's going to be a great tease, a great story. And if you aren't familiar with what's going on with that story, what's going on beyond the Netflix documentary, I would recommend that you check out the documentary first and then see some of the stuff that's going on since or before or during that maybe weren't covered in the Netflix documentary. But it's a great, great series, and I highly recommend you do it. Once you start watching it, I guarantee you'll want to watch all the episodes really in one sitting. So get yourself something good to drink, get yourself something good to eat, some good snack food, and just sit down and give yourself about 8 hours to just check it out. It'll be well worth it. Season 4 overall of Last Chance U, season 2 in Independence, well worth it. Check it out.